Okay, in this video we're going to talk about duplicating layers. Duplicating layers is really simple, but it's also really important in Photoshop as you start to work with certain elements. You may be doing a design or a certain icon or something of that point, and you want to make it multiple times, but you don't want to have to redesign it every time. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to duplicate layers. Now, duplicating layers is actually pretty easy. What we're going to do is we're going to go over to the layers and we're going to click on the layer that we want to duplicate. For example, I want to duplicate this bikes layer. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to drag it over the new layer icon and let it go. Now I have made a copy of bikes. So I've got two layers. Now you can see that I've duplicated. Now, so that's one way of duplicating the layer. Another way of duplicating the layer, and this is when you're ready to delete a layer, you can, when you hit delete, it'll pop up. I don't like, I know I want to delete it, so I'm going to say don't show this again because I don't want a pop-up every time I'm trying to do something. So I'm going to hit don't show again and get rid of that layer. So now I'm on my bikes layer and I want to duplicate it. So I've showed you one way, which is to click and drag over there. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is holding down the Alt button or the Option, and you'll see that the arrows turn to two arrows, and now I've made another copy. So that's another way of duplicating the layer. It's a quicker way in case you're moving things around and you don't want to move your cursor over to here, drag and do another layer. So those are two ways to make a duplicate layer. So it's pretty easy. There's other ways you can do it. You can highlight with the marquee tool and you can copy the layer and then you can paste the layer and you'll have another item there. Now, one thing that you'll need to know is as I went to paste that, you'll notice it didn't paste anything. This is because it's a smart layer, and I'll get into smart layers along with regular layers, but I'm going to go ahead, and the way I know it's a smart layer is because it has a little document icon right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and convert this to a regular layer so that you can see how the marquee tool will copy and paste, and now it creates another layer. But notice the smart layer is now gone because I've merged this layer with a blank layer that got rid of all the features. So that is how you can duplicate. I'll talk about smart layers versus regular layers in another video, but this is pretty much how you duplicate. There's other ways of doing it. You can go to the image and duplicate. So you find which way you like to do it, but for me personally, I like just holding down the Option button and dragging, so I've made a copy. So that's pretty simple, and you can do that with anything. You can do it with images, you can do it with text. It doesn't matter. As long as it's a layer that's not a smart layer, you'll be able to duplicate it just by holding the Alt and dragging. So you can have multiple copies and multiple layers. Now, one other thing I want to talk about, and I'll talk about it in another video, is naming the layers so that you don't get confused on which one is the original or which one is the top version, and I'll talk about naming those layers as well in another video.